Good evening. It's 6:30, and I would like to call the June 15th, 2022 regular board meeting of the Niles-Maine District Library Board to order. Margaret, would you please call the roll?
Thank you. Trustee Derblick,
Here.
Trustee Schoenfeld,
Here.
Trustee Makula,
Here.
Trustee Rosansky,
Here.
Trustee Olson,
Here.
Trustee Keene.
Here.
Thank you. Item 3 on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance. Could we all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. At this time, I will reiterate the rules for our board meetings. As a president and presiding officer, it is my responsibility to preserve and maintain decorum at all times during official meetings of the library board.
Point of order.
As such, this board will not tolerate outbursts and interruptions during our meetings.
I
am
call for
asking
rules
that
of the
each
day.
member of the public respect that and to conduct yourself accordingly. If, on the other hand, you do interfere with the orderly conduct of the meeting or you persist in disorderly, disruptive conduct, I will have you removed from the meeting. Public participation and comment will be permitted during the public comment portion of the agenda, consistent with the library rules. Remarks shall be made from the speaker's podium only. Abusive and profane comments will not be permitted and will promptly be ruled out of order. If you persist, you will no longer be allowed to speak. The board vests in me, as the board president, the authority to terminate the remarks of speakers who fail to adhere to the rules. Individuals addressing the board must at all times adhere to the library policies and other rules as may be necessary for the efficient and orderly conduct of the meeting. All public comments shall be addressed to the board as a whole, and no comments shall be addressed to individual members of the board, library staff, or other members of the public body. Thank you.
Happy now?
Item 4 on the agenda is public comment. Cindy, could you please call the first person?
What time is it?
6:32.
David Carabota.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the board. Thank you for the time that you put in from your personal time to contribute to our community. President, board president, fellow trustees. Budget time. As we sit here and I'm thinking about what to say, it's amazing. The library's still standing. Lights are on. Everything's fine. Remember the prediction? If that $6.3 to $6.4 million budget passed, which it did, the library was going to close, save our library. I'm speaking as a 35-year resident of the village of Niles and also on behalf of the Save My Wallet from Taxes initiative. At Save My Wallet, we're here to remind you what happened last year, and that is that the budget passed at $6.3 to $6.4 million. It was at 5.8, proposed by new members of the board who went over the budget line by line, interviewed every single department head, and went over all the data to see where is the money going. And the problem is not taxing, it's that there's too much spending. We're being overcharged for the services of the library. Even under the budget that we had, the library is costing us $1,050,000 every 60 days. It's not costing us, I should correct myself. It's costing taxpayers, but I should correct that. It's taxpayers who actually don't have exemptions, et cetera, that actually reach into their pocket to pay the taxes. Also, this board was under attack by those from other bodies of government here in the Niles-Maine area. In an environment where the Maine Township decided to increase its levy, its new board come out of the box. First thing they did is they increased their levy by $1.2 million. Village of Niles across the street decided to increase its levy. Come out of the box with a new board, $12.9 million. But don't worry, they kicked back $1.8 million. They took all the diamonds, gave back a little gold like the song goes. What the goal here should be is to operate this library at the most at $1 million every 60 days. $1 million every 60 days is that, gosh, I'd love to win $1 million from the lottery. It's a lot of money, and that money has value. That value of that money is my sweat, my tears, my effort, and my work in generating funds that then end up going to be paying for taxes rather than other bills and expenses that I could have take care of for my family and my practice. This money needs to be spent efficiently. If it's spent efficiently, this library can operate very well with a budget of $1 million every 60 days. The library is not free. The services provided are not bad. But the services that are provided are being overcharged for the services being provided. And I really reach out again to this board on behalf, as a resident, and on behalf of Save My Wallet, to please go through your budget line by line, because the answer here is to cut spending. It may end up in the long run where you're going to have to do it with the way this economy is going. But in cutting spending, in bringing a controlled budget, what leaks out when you reduce spending, what leaks out is inefficient expenditures. What leaks out, if it's there, is corruption. What leaks out there is negligence. Money is spent more efficiently when you don't have all that money to spend and a backup overdraft of my house. Thank you.
Thank you.
Elliot Osherman.
I feel like Diogenes. Who am I looking for? An honest man. Oh, I guess I'm only the number 2 speaker here. Good evening, board. This is Elliot Osherman of the Committee Against Retention of the 3 Snoozes, meaning the 3 people on the right. As usual, comments are directed to the entirety of the board. As usual, I've given a copy of these comments to your executive director for distribution to board members. Feel free to follow along with me, everybody. As usual, I start with my 9 declarative statements. I will neither be interrupted nor silenced, nor will we, nor will the community. I will remember this, as will we, as will the community. I will vote on April 4th, 2023, against the retention of the 3 snoozes, as will we, as will the community. Subject to tonight's comments, procedures during board meetings. In the past, your presiding officer has made mention of using Robert's Rules of Order as the means of running the board meetings. In prior public comments, I have provided copies of relevant sections of Robert's Rules. At May 31st board meeting, I provided a copy of the book, The Complete Idiot's Guide to Robert's Rules of Order, 2nd edition, to your presiding officer. I noticed coming in, it's still on her desk tonight. Included in that book were some notes regarding page numbers and specific concepts, issues, and advice. I feel compelled to expound on these concepts, issues, and advice. I will elaborate on 3 areas: privilege, responsibility, and obligation. The first phrase, call for the order of the day. See pages 64, 131, and 132 as attached. What does that mean? Someone feels that the meeting is proceeding in a disorganized fashion and calls that fact to the attention of the presiding officer. This call must be noted in the minutes. We saw this evening. The privilege belongs to that board member. The responsibility and obligation of the presiding officer is 1, to acknowledge that the request has been heard, and 2, to respond to it, either that it is not appropriate and the call is inaccurate, or respond that it is appropriate and indicate what action must be taken to get back on track. Either response must be noted in the minutes as well. In the past, the response of the presiding officer has been, I'm speaking and cannot be interrupted. That is neither an appropriate response, nor is it correct. The second phrase is point of order. See pages 64, 154 through 157, and 222 as attached. What does that mean? A trustee feels that something is wrong, either said or done. It is not only the privilege of that trustee to bring it to the attention of the presiding officer, but a responsibility to do so as promptly as possible so that it can be corrected. That trustee can interrupt in order to raise the point of order so that it can be addressed and, if possible, corrected. The raising the point of order must be indicated in the minutes as well. The responsibility and obligation of the presiding officer is to listen to the point as raised, then either indicate that it is correct and what will be changed or adjusted, or advise it is not correct and why. The results must also be indicated in the minutes. Trustees have been advised that bringing a point of order is interrupting the presiding officer. That interruption is specifically allowed. Then we have minutes. See page 223 is attached. What does that mean? Minutes are a summary of actions taken. It is not intended to be a detailed indication of speeches, verbal reports, or oral comments. It is most definitely not intended as verbatim speeches or responses. The privilege is to have only actions indicated in the minutes. The obligation and responsibility is for the editing of those minutes to delete verbatim copying of speeches, reports, or comments. Finally, we have new business. See pages 188 and 189 is attached. What does that mean? It means a specific agenda in which items are brought to the board that have not previously been brought there. The privilege is for any trustee to bring up a subject. There is no requirement that it be listed as an agenda item prior to the meeting. Open Meetings Act specifically says that nothing in the act shall preclude consideration of new business. The requirement is that a vote cannot be taken on an item not listed on the printed agenda. The responsibility and obligation of the presiding officer is to allow the introduction of the topic and allowing of discussion. Hurrying through the meeting so that new business is not brought forth in a timely fashion is specifically disallowed. I sent an email last month to your president asking why she does not allow new business to be brought up. And the answer was that other is the agenda item under which she feels new topics should be addressed. I copied the board last month with that response. This is not following Robert's Rules of Order procedures. Thank you for your time and attention. Oh, two more things. The shoe is in relation to prior public comments where I attempted to enrich the vocabulary of the board with specific nouns and adjectives such as rude, incompetent, bully pulpit, dilatory, etc. If the shoe fits, wear it. Oh, and then one more thing. We want Umair.
Evan Theodoropoulos, sorry. Good evening. My name is Evan Theodoropoulos, and I'm 13 years old. I attend Clover School, and I have competed in Battle of the Books. I use the Teen Underground regularly. I have been going to the library since I was a toddler. I vividly remember playing with the Thomas trains and reading books when I was younger. Was very excited every time my mom would take my brother and me to the library. I would always go to the Thomas trains. I knew where everything was that I found fun or amusing. Then, when I was old enough to go to the Teen Underground, I was very excited. Every time I go there, I get to see my friends. We read, play games, help each other with homework, and talk to each other. I don't go to the Teen Underground after school because I have to wait for my parents to pick me up, but because I enjoy going there. I can walk home or take the bus, but I choose to go to the Teen Underground. What is being proposed about moving the Teen Underground is unfair and inappropriate. Imagine how you would feel if you were told to have your board meetings in a storage closet because those making the decisions who have never been to a board meeting assume that's what's best for you. Wouldn't you want to speak up and say something? It's not fair when one or two people are allowed and we all get the same proposed punishment. When I go to the Teen Underground, there are 7 or 8 kids including me. How do you think you're going to fit 7 or 8 kids in a storage closet? How would you feel if someone proposed an idea that shuts you out from the rest of the library and you had no say at all? When I go to the Teen Underground, I normally look over at the Salmon Garden and do my cross and say a prayer to remember him. If you move the Teen Underground, the Salmon Garden will be neglected. If there are complaints that we are being too loud, we can have a sign-in sheet where teens have to sign in and write down a phone number of a parent in the event of misbehavior, so a parent can be contacted. If there is some type of noise in every part of the library. Where there are people, there is noise. To say that we have too many books in the library is absurd. Saying a library has too many books is like saying a restaurant has too much food. It doesn't make sense. How often have you visited the Teen Underground and asked any of the teens how much it means to us, or why we go there? I'm here this evening to speak on behalf of the teens who use the Teen Underground. I hope you try to put yourselves in our shoes and see how important the Teen Underground is to us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jeanette Lee.
Good evening. My name is Jeanette Lee. My pronouns
I suppose is true on face value, but they can be manipulated. The treasurer and other members of this board like to manipulate or even ignore the numbers that don't align with their goal in devastating this library, all for the very small tax relief they think they're getting. I'd like to start with a number from the most recent board meeting, 5 minutes. That is what the treasurer thought was ample time for his fellow trustees to read his 72-page proposed budget before being able to discuss, analyze, and even vote on it. If the treasurer can't be bothered to give his fellow trustees time to adequately review a proposed budget, then perhaps he should resign his position. It was inappropriate and disrespectful to expect anyone to discuss such a document without any advanced preparation time. This board continuously decries that they don't have enough data to understand how to staff the library. But there is data and also professional expertise that are both highlighting how our library is currently understaffed. In the library highlights document in tonight's agenda, it says the adult services desk answers an average of 58 questions a day. Digital services printed 60 3D prints and conducted 68 makerspace appointments. That's a lot of questions, appointments and equipment handling, which takes time and staffing. The staff at this library are expected to be superhuman, doing the work of 2 to 3 people, but they shouldn't have to. The library should be staffed appropriately. In the library highlights document, it says KidSpace has received questions about the Book Buddies program, the writing program, and baby time, all of which have been canceled due to staff shortages. Why is there a staff shortage? Because this board refuses to listen to the staff when they tell you they can't run programs with a skeleton crew. I looked up at the program list for KidSpace from the summer of 2019 before the pandemic and compared it to the program list for this summer. The difference is astounding. You want numbers? Go compare those 2 lists of summer programming and count the number of programs offered. It is clear we are not the library we once were. Another number this board likes to ignore, the consistently high attendance for chair yoga according to the monthly program list. But because these trustees just don't like the program, Joe Makula's absurd proposed budget cuts the budget for chair yoga in half. How about the patrons who do like this program? Why are you so concerned about numbers when you just ignore the ones you don't like? Please, start listening to the patrons, the community, and the staff when they are overwhelmingly asking you to increase the staffing to its correct levels in your new budget. Thank you.
Thank you.
Roberto Botello.
Good evening, members of the board and general public. I come before you to share a personal experience that recently happened. I was here during an event just the other day when everyone in the library had to shelter in place. And I want to bring to your attention that all the staff here that were on hand did a remarkable job, not only at following the shelter-in-place procedures, they kept us safe. They reassured everyone here that despite the weather outside, the building was safe. There were no leaks. There was no water came in. The building stood firm. And again, I attribute the programming part directly to the staff. There was a group of about 25 children, 20 to 25 children. Program did not stop. They did a remarkable job at, despite us as adults having our cell phones that were triggered by the National Weather Service alarms, the children were kept calm. The individuals running the program did exceptionally well. That was remarkable. And not only that, but to those adults that were here and did not realize what was going on, the remainder of the staff reassured the adults that what was to be expected, how they were going to keep us safe. That event lasted approximately, I want to say 30 to 40 minutes or so, and I felt extremely comfortable. And I want to say that in the back of my mind, I think I might have seen some board members here at the very beginning of that event. So I believe they might have experienced this. And I want to say that I'm extremely proud of Niles because I think that through the many years of that the community has been here, it's the type of investment that the board makes on institutions like this that keep us safe, sound, and in good conditions when weather is bad, when times are hard. And I believe that that's only possible through continuing commitment to continue to fund institutions like this. I have heard comments from earlier speakers talking about is the spending necessary at those levels? Well, that decision will be made to the board. But I stand before you to say that I encourage continued investment in training of staff, supporting them with additional resources. I saw that they did have emergency bags with them, every single one of them. That reassured me because I had a sense that they knew exactly what to do and they were prepared to keep us safe. So I want to encourage the board to continue funding this library because we don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. Roof that leaks, doors that are beginning to wear and tear and allow excessive amounts of water, rain, snow to come in. And I was witness to an event that it was maybe not severe to the point that it was destructive, but none of the children that were here realized that they were in harm's way and they were kept safe. So thank you to everybody in the board that makes those commitments to continue to keep Niles Library safe. And I hope that we're able to do that despite of the many challenges that we have. I'm extremely proud of our community, and if anything, I just simply want to say that in addition to my comments, I've had conversations with members of the community, and they've said, you know, Roberto, as a matter of fact, this was not the first time that we've sheltered in place at the library. And when it happens, and our kids are there, they are safe. And some folks have said it. I'm glad that they were at the library as opposed to a grocery store, as opposed to the mall, as opposed to a friend's house. And that really resonated with me because
Time.
Thank
I
you.
believe that the Niles Library is extremely valuable. Have a good night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mary Cooney?
Nice talk, and I'm going to follow along what this gentleman said. Let's look at money and the importance that we put on it. Are you putting money above improving people's lives and knowledge and community engagement? Are you doing that? Yes, you are putting money above. I believe it's very wrong. I've been a proud supporter. I'm in the garden club. We just had a plant swap. This library is going down because you people are not working together as a team like the mayor wanted you to. I've seen people, and I've been here for 15, 20 years. I learned a lot about tech here, and I'm proud to say. You had an excellent staff. At least 5 of the top positions, they're gone because you overburdened them, all for money. I think you need to re-examine your consciences. Libraries, as the sign in there says, if you read the wall, It's to inform, it's to educate, and it's to engage. As Roberto said, this library is a form of building community. By not funding a library when you do have the money, you are not helping build a community. And Niles, I don't know what year it was, but they were voted, I believe, one of the best cities in the United States. And it had to be too part of the library. And I forgot his name over there. Evan. Nice, I applaud you, Evan, for speaking up. You are totally right. Do you want these children to be on the streets with guns, drugs, violence? Look at our world today. The problem is gun violence, among other things. Rachel is great with these kids. I sit in here on the computer a lot. She's wonderful. The kids look forward to those programs. It improves their lives. It keeps them busy. It keeps them out of trouble. Why is Chicago having all these problems? They don't have jobs. They're not engaged in something positive. So please do not put money and save my wallet. It's ridiculous. Money is to be spent for the betterment of people. My God. Please examine your conscience. Try to work together as one group so that you can get more things done for this community. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's all the public comments.
Thank you, Cindy. Next on the agenda is number 5, approval of minutes. With respect to the trustees, I would like to read the rules that govern the proceedings of the board.
Point of order.
As you know, the
Would you
rules
like to
of
respond
parliamentary
this time, now that you
practice
know you're supposed to?
comprised in Robert's Rule of Order govern the proceedings of the board. There are certain rules contained within Robert's Rules with respect to decorum. By reminding you of the rules, I hope it will lead to a more
Orders of the
civil
day.
and underlying parliamentary procedure. Robert's Rule of Order number 7, debate states speakers must address the remarks to the presiding officer, be courteous in their language and deportment, and avoid all personalities, never alluding to the officers or other members by name, where possible to avoid it, nor to the motives of members. Additionally, Robert's Rules of Order number 43, decorum in debate, states, in debate a member must confine himself to the question before the assembly and avoid personalities. Further, the rule states that no member is permitted to disturb the assembly by whispering or walking across the floor. All the trustees should refrain from disturbing the assembly, and you should encourage others to do likewise. Consistent with Robert's rules, I am asking each of the trustees to refrain from speaking until recognized, refer to any other trustee in a respectful manner, and address remarks through the chair. The application of Robert's rules is the best method to enable the Board of Trustees, with due regard for every member's opinion, to arrive at the general will on the maximum number of questions of varying complexity in a minimum amount of time and under all kinds of internal climate, ranging from total harmony to hardened or impassioned division of opinion. Thank you for your cooperation. I would like to state one more time, as I did in the past, that rules of order, orders of the day, and what was your other comment? Point of order do not apply when, excuse me if I may speak, if I may speak. When the president is reading the rules of decorum or addressing the public body, they do not apply. You need to contact an attorney, especially the library attorney, who can help you. There are many, many copies of Robert's rules, but we need to follow the legality of them. But I appreciate your input. All right, we're moving on
They
to the
aren't
next
legal. It's
item.
not a legal document.
Can I ask a question, please?
At this point, I'd rather just go on than cause any more conflict. So number 5 on the agenda I tried to resolve a problem and it just
It's
gets
not
worse.
Robert's rules, it's
Approval of
Carolyn's
minutes.
rules.
Item 5 on the agenda is approval of minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes of the January 19th, 2022 regular board meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Okay, we have a motion and a movement and a second. We can now have discussion. Trustee Makula?
I have no comment. I believe it's correct as far as I can tell.
Trustee Schoenfeld?
No comment.
Trustee Rosansky?
No comment.
Trustee Olson?
No, until you eliminate your your president's report, this is not going to fly.
Okay, Trustee Keene?
No comment.
All right, if there's no further discussion.
Can I make a comment?
Yes.
I just want to mention that, you know, the statute does recommend that minutes be approved in the meeting or the second meeting after. So this is January, and so we're getting, we need to have some movement on this.
All right, thank you. Margaret, would you please call the roll?
Trustee Derblick,
Yes.
Trustee Schoenfeld,
Yes.
Trustee Makula,
Yes.
Trustee Rosansky,
No.
Trustee Olson,
No.
Trustee Keene.
No.
3 ayes, 3 nays, it fails.
Thank you.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve the minutes of the April 20th, 2022 regular board meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. We can now have discussion. Trustee Makula?
No comment. I have no problems with it.
Trustee Schoenfeld?
No comment.
Trustee Rosansky?
Yes, I'd like to ask Cindy. Cindy, can you please tell me what was changed in these minutes? Because it wasn't highlighted or anything to my poor eyes, so I couldn't tell what was changed.
I can answer that.
Thank you, Margaret.
So under public comment, what was added was there was one person that was not able to speak, and the person's name was added, stated Sutherland. And then on page 8, which is 2 of the minutes, after payment of the bills, it's the president's report was added specifically, and it was adjusted to say President Durban expressed concern about outside influences affecting the library. And then the comment with regard to the different activities at the library, what President Durban had mentioned was added to the end after trustee reports, after everyone had spoken. That's really it.
Oh, you mean under treasury report, where it says the paragraph?
Right above Treasury report.
Thank you.
I mean trustee report. You're saying above this part, but didn't you say there was also another spot?
Yes, what had happened was, after that first sentence I had read earlier to you, it
Yes.
had gone on to say that the different activities that had occurred at the library that she wanted to share, that was actually moved because she had said that at the end after everyone else had
Yeah.
spoken.
Where it
That's
should
the
have
last
been
paragraph,
after the
exactly.
After the trustee report.
Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
And that's all the changes then?
That's it.
Thank you. Do you please, I know you're kind of overworked, but could you please do something like a different type of typeset or something so we can tell without having to bother you? If it's not too much of a hassle? Thank you.
Yeah, we tried to do that.
Okay, thank you.
Trustee Olson?
Those were my same concerns, so nothing to say. Thank you.
Trustee Keene?
No comment.
Okay, if there isn't any further discussion, Margaret, would you please call the roll?
Trustee Derblick,
No.
Trustee Schoenfeld,
No.
Trustee Makula,
No.
Trustee Rosansky,
Yes,
Trustee Olson,
absolutely yes.
Trustee Keene.
Yes.
3 ayes, 3 nays, fails.
Do we have direction from the board to edit the minutes?
It's this, you mean the reason why they were voted no?
Well, they have to come back next month. Are you directing edits to these minutes, or?
The same request as last month?
Which is what?
The
Which was
president's
made.
report?
The president report was moved and separated from the activities on page 8. As Margaret watched the video, and it is in the order in which it was presented on the video.
The president's report is where on page 8?
Third paragraph.
Right, that's not my report. Are you referring to the sentence that's there?
That is the summary of your
Okay, no,
report.
it's not my report. We've been over
Minutes are a
this.
summary.
No, it shouldn't be a summary of my report. A summary of an elongated conversation, yes. But that's why I
We're saying
gave Margaret a
April
copy of the
20th.
report. So it's the same thing as last month, but thank you for asking.
Where is? She wants her whole speech in there. April 20th too? Yes, that's what she wants, the whole speech in there, and that's why she's rejecting it. And
So
if
we
the
should-
whole speech is put in there, we three will reject it.
Maybe we should start all writing our things down and composing speeches to have
Yeah.
included in the minutes every month, and then we can.
You know what, you're out of order. If you can't respect the president, that's one thing, but please don't disrupt the meeting.
Oh,
Thank
no.
you.
You're not welcome.
Do I have a motion to move to approve the minutes of the May 13, 2022 special board meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. We can now have discussion.
Didn't we just do the April 20th? Wasn't that just what that vote was?
Yeah, this is May 13th.
This is May 13th.
Trustee Makula?
No comment.
Trustee Schoenfeld?
No comment.
Trustee
No
Rosansky?
comment.
Trustee Olson?
Are we talking about May 13th?
Yes.
Yes.
No, I have nothing to say about it.
Trustee King?
No comment.
All right, thank you. If there isn't any further discussion, Margaret, please call the roll.
Trustee Derblick,
Yes.
Trustee Schoenfeld,
Yes.
Trustee Makula,
Yes.
Trustee Rosansky,
Yes.
Trustee Olson,
Yes.
Trustee King.
Yes.
Thank you, Margaret.
Okay, 6 ayes, 0 nays.
All right, minutes
and
of the
it
May
passes.
18th, oh, thank you, sorry. Minutes of the May 18th regular board meeting are in process, so we'll move to E. Move to approve the minutes of the May 31st, 2022 special board meeting
It's May 18th.
of the 2022-2023 tentative budget.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Okay, if there isn't any further, no, we have a move in and a second, I apologize. We will now have discussion. Trustee Makula,
No comment.
Trustee Schoenfeld,
No comment.
Trustee Rosansky,
It's too wordy.
Trustee Olson,
No comment.
Trustee Keen.
This is the 31st one?
Yes, the 31st.
Yes. I think that we need to have Brian Lefevre added to the others present on the first page. And the second page is, I kind of feel like that whole, he said, she said, he did, she did, just should be crossed out, that whole thing is not necessary. You know, it could just say what it says, Treasurer Makula passed out his version of the proposed budget, and then skip that whole next part to move to approve the tentative budget. Except for the parts where we left, that has to be in there in the time, yeah. Or just, I mean, even just a quick synopsis or summary would be better than. But if I'm the only one that feels that way, then that's fine.
No.
No, I agree.
Becky, to clarify,
Sure.
the last 3 lines of that paragraph, otherwise everything else not needed?
Do you just want this?
Just want to make sure I'm looking at the same.
You can have it.
written down.
So, I'm sorry, could you review what the discussion is about? Are we talking about review and discussion of the 2022 proposed tentative budget? Is that the section?
Well,
that
I
you're
just gave it to
addressing?
Margaret, so I don't have the title in front of me anymore, but
Do you know, I'm asking what section?
it's the
you're
second
reading.
page, and it's the part where, I don't know, Margaret, maybe you could read what the first sentence says.
Yes, the top of the page says Treasurer Makula passed out his version of the proposed budget.
Okay, I think I'm in the right place. Well, I'm not sure what your request is.
Because
What her request is, not why she's requesting it.
I'm requesting that, can I see your copy, Diane? Or, thank you. Okay, I got it, thanks. So from where it says President Derblick stated Brian Lefevre, from that line until, so from that line, cross that out until we get to subscription and dues. That all should be crossed out, and then it could just say trustees Keenan Rosansky left, trustee Olson left, treasurer Machula continued, the rest is fine, just taking out those lines in between.
Oh, that needs to be in.
That's what I thought too.
Or
All right,
instead
thank
of
you for that
having all those
explanation.
lines, then maybe summarizing it with 2 or 3 sentences.
exactly, summarizing it would be much better. I agree with that.
I believe it is a summary of numerous individuals and their comments, so I don't know how she could summarize it any more than it's already been done. There was quite a bit there with many people involved. I thought she did a good job.
She just read the summary.
Like I said, I don't believe you could eliminate the comments of certain individuals in a summary and expect it to still be correct.
Things like, should we end the meeting? Do you need additional time? Who said that? What's that?
So are you suggesting we take our vote whether we accept this at this time, Madam President?
I'm not suggesting anything. I believe we're having a
Are we
discussion.
going to continue this, or are we going to, she was the last person to make a discussion, you shot her down, so is it time to do a
Excuse
vote?
me?
You just told her no.
I gave my opinion. I'm allowed to make a comment as well.
Yes, you are, but you basically shot her down. So if we're not willing to bring her thing for her changes she wants to a vote, then let's do whatever other vote so we can get moving. There's a lot of stuff to do tonight.
President Derblick made that comment, Diane. Should we end the meeting? Do you need additional time?
But those, I mean, yeah, our comments are not part of the minutes.
I think the comments speak to the meeting that took place.
Well, I guess we don't agree on that.
That's fine. We don't agree with her. That's fine.
All right, at this point then, if there isn't any further discussion, Margaret, would you please call the roll?
Trustee Derblick,
Yes.
Trustee Schoenfeld,
Yes.
Trustee Makula,
Yes.
Trustee Rosansky,
No.
Trustee Olson,
No.
Trustee Keen.
No.
3 ayes, 3 nays, fails.
Thank you.
So we'll attempt to summarize and bring back a draft.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. What, Cindy?
We'll attempt to summarize that paragraph and bring back another draft.
Sure, that sounds good. Okay, I believe that is the last approval of minutes. Item 6 on the agenda is payment of bills. Do I have a motion to approve operating expenses of $200,829.08, expenses of $226,736.48, special reserve expenses of $28,278.27 for a total monthly expense of $455,843.83.
So motion.
So moved.
Second.
It was motioned by me, Joe. So you're the second, or else Suzanne is, but I was the one who motioned for it.
Okay, I've got that.
Betty moved to
So
second.
Joe, you'll be the second.
Thank you.
We have a motion, a movement and a second. We can now have discussion. Trustee Makula.
I'm good with the numbers, they balanced.
Trustee Schoenfeld.
No comment.
Trustee Rosansky.
No comment.
Trustee Olson.
Just concerned about the legal fees again. That's all.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand. Was that a question? You were concerned about which? I didn't hear that.
The legal fees,
Oh, okay.
they're just outrageous as usual.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
All right, thank you for that. Did you need any clarification or?
No, no
Okay.
clarification.
All right, thank you. Trustee Keane?
Same question as every month. Are there any bills that remain unsigned? No.
No,
So of the 12 bills that were not signed the other night, they are all signed now.
yes, they are.
All right, I have,
I did ask a question. I thought I had emailed it, but I checked back in my email. I can't find it. President Derblick, I was wondering why last month the legal bills were not approved in time for payment. Because Cindy assured me that she had approved her side, and so I can't imagine anyone else would have to approve them besides the two of you.
I don't believe your question is warranted at a board meeting. I really don't understand it, but we're moving on.
Can you
We
please
have
answer
taken
my
care, we
question?
have taken care of everything. I don't recall an email, but this is not the time for this.
It is
If you
the
have-
time.
If you need to talk to me, I'll see you after the meeting. Thank you.
You're
do
just
you have any other
Carolyn's
questions?
rules going on. My
Do you
only
have any other
question is,
questions?
how long are you going to go on making your own rules for these meetings? Because this is ridiculous.
You are
It's
out of
ludicrous.
order. You need,
You're out of order. This is absolutely
do you have any
ridiculous.
other questions regarding the
When are
checks?
you going to stop?
Do you have any other questions?
That's my
regarding
question.
this? All right, I will.
I
continue.
actually do have another question. I am wondering, at 66 hours that the library is open, are not enough hours for trustees to be here and sign the checks instead of having to stay in the building when the building is closed and making staff hang out, waiting for them. 66 hours, and you guys can't manage to get it done.
Staff was going to leave at 9 o'clock.
One
We
staff
left at-
was.
We left at 10 to 9.
I know when you left.
You were there.
That's
you were
exactly
there.
right.
Excuse me,
You were also
this
there.
is uncalled for.
What?
This is a board meeting, and this, no, this argument, would you please stop? No, you have got to stop baiting and causing,
Excuse me.
would you stop speaking?
Will you stop dating your
All right, this
Becky's
conversation is
turn.
over.
No, it's not.
No, if you have anything of valid to say, this is, no, this is what
Everything
I
I
mean.
say is
We're done.
valid.
No, you cause nothing but
So
dissension.
what I say is not valid?
Not this comment. If
It's
you have a
Becky's
personal
So
question.
you're just telling me that my comments are not valid?
Personal opinions and
It
argumentative
wasn't an
statements
opinion. It
can
was a
wait till
question.
after.
President's
Are
report.
It
you
was a
finished? Do
question.
you have another comment?
I didn't have a comment, I had a question.
Do you have another question?
Same question, when are you going to stop?
Okay, so I will continue with the checks register. I do have some questions. I noticed that, I believe
What page, please?
we've paid for, let's see, there's several pages actually. Let me start with, I'm on page 1 of 6. And I see $880 for crystal clear music
Can I ask a question?
production.
You're supposed to be
Could
the-
you
the
tell me
audit
what,
report, the treasurer's
could you
report?
tell me what that pertains to?
That's a program, music program.
$880 for a program?
Yeah.
And what type of program is that?
Music, it's a music program.
And what does it
Songs of
include?
the 60s and 70s.
I'm sorry?
Songs of the 60s and 70s.
I know, I don't
For
understand what
adult.
that means. Someone's going to come here for $880 and talk about music?
I'll talk to it during my trustee report.
I'm
because
sorry,
here.
can I,
It was a music program put on for adults.
okay,
Music,
and
not a discussion of music, actual music.
a band, is that what we're talking,
Yeah,
entertainment?
A trio,
Is that what this was?
yes,
Okay, and it already occurred, is that it?
yes.
Okay, so it was in, where was this held? Was it held here
In here.
or outside, or an out?
This is all
okay.
information that could be found in the program that's mailed to our houses or
How was
online.
the attendance for
saw-
that program?
It
Do you
wasn't
recall?
bad.
I wasn't here, but
I
it,
was.
All right, maybe,
And it also is on our YouTube.
maybe I could look and get that information
You
later.
can watch it on YouTube. It's on the library YouTube.
Would you please stop interrupting? I have another question about.
If I could say this is part of the Illinois Humanities Grant Program. So we had expected to get some reimbursement for this program, so we're still looking into that.
Okay, thank you for that. I was looking at Ingram Services, $15,579.60. Are these materials for the summer reading program? Is that what?
What page are you on?
What page?
Ingram is on here a lot.
Ingram is on page 2 of 6.
Yes. Ingram's is our main book supplier.
Right, and I'm thinking at this time of the year, with only 2 weeks left in the budget, are we preparing for summer reading? Is that what this purchase is for? I mean, it's
Well, I don't
not
think it's
for
all
next year.
purchase. I don't think it's for all for summer reading. It's normal monthly purchasing of books. Some include books specifically for summer reading, but it's regular purchases.
Okay, so some of this will be used for next year. Is that what we're saying? This isn't
This
just
goes
for-
into the
Books for the
collection.
library.
Yeah, it goes into the collection.
Okay, thank you for that. And then I noticed,
So I guess we're doing the treasurer's report now.
all right, regarding the Cotton Dana Award, I noticed that some of the expenses have been posted to the register. And
Page,
I-
what page, please?
5 of 6.
Thank
And my general question is, will these be charged against the grant when it comes in?
Yes, you can see the account description is grant other expenditures for marketing and PR services.
So how do we handle that? Will that grant be deposited in its own account? So
It also gets deposited in grant others as revenue. There's a
I know
grant other for
that, but
revenue and a
the
grant other.
right, I know it gets deposited in grants other, but when we asked how the money is spent, we were told it just gets thrown in with everything else. So if it's in its own line, is there an identifier for this particular grant? I believe it was $10,000. So we can understand, I believe they didn't have an explanation for the purpose of the grant, but in time we probably will. But is there a breakdown of these line items where we could see that? Because on the reports we see every month, I don't recall seeing a breakdown of grants and what's actually being spent or what it's being spent for.
In the past, that's true. There was the specific money received for this John Dana Cotton Award. Hope I got that right. John Cotton Dana. Okay, thank you. Was not tracked. So we intend to do that this year.
But do we track our other grants as well?
Well, we have a per capita grant line, yes. That's
And
all tracked.
at some point, we could see the listing of the whatever was applied to that grant?
Sure, we can get a blackballed report at any time on any of these line items. It shows all of the individual charges into those lines.
But we can get that for grants as well, because I think
Yes.
that's something we should keep track of. But back to my question for the cost for their travel, I know, have you received the grant this year, or do you plan on getting it next year? I mean, has it come yet? I don't know.
No, the money has not come yet. The award ceremony is later this month.
So when you receive the grant, we'll just like back charge or the cost for these, for their travel and whatever other expenses will come out of the grant. Is that how we're handling that? Okay, good. I just wanted to check that. And then I had a question about Visiographic. It looks like we, on page 6 of 6, or 19, it looks like we purchased flyers, I'm guessing, for the summer reading program?
Yes, that's for all the materials for the summer reading program.
And so it's not just flyers?
No, it's not just flyers.
Okay, because
I
I was...
think Sasha gave an explanation.
Yeah, it was logs and flyers and some other printed material.
Okay, because I was concerned if
It
it was
was,
just
we
flyers.
talked to Sasha about that.
Okay, I didn't know, because I was concerned if it was just flyers, that we may have that capability here. Okay, thank you. Those are all my questions. All right, if there isn't any discussion, Margaret, would you please call the roll?
Trustee Derblick,
I'm going to
What
abstain.
is this voting for?
This is for payment of bills.
Well, you should say it
Well,
before we
It's
vote
for
on
payment
it.
of bills. We're still on payment of bills.
Would you like me to read the statement again? Do I have a,
You do what you want, Carolyn.
well, I mean, if
But
you
you're
need me to remind
supposed
you.
to read what we are voting on before you vote on it.
Well, I can definitely remind you.
I don't need reminding,
Appro-
I need you to do it the right way.
Well, I'll be more than glad to read this again for you. Do I have a motion to approve operating expenses of $200,829.08, expenses of $226,736.48, special reserve expenses of $28,278.27, for a total monthly expense of $455,843.83.
And she already had a motion and
Mar-
a second, right?
Margaret, could you please call the roll?
Trustee Derblick,
The motion and the second. Discussion.
you said abstain, right?
Yes.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Thank you.
Trustee Schoenfeld,
Yes.
Trustee Makula,
Yes.
Trustee Rosansky,
Yes.
Trustee Olson,
Yes.
Trustee Keane.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
So 5 ayes, 1 abstain, passes.
All right. Number 7 is trustees' report. Item 7 on the agenda is trustees' report, and I'll start with my president's report. One topic I'd like to bring up is the lunch program. I understand there's quite a bit of discussion
This is just
about
for
it.
positive things, right?
I'd like to bring up the lunch program. I know there's been a lot of
Because that's what you've instructed us
conversation
before,
about
to
it.
only make
So I would
positive
like to
comments
bring,
during this time.
I would like to bring to the community's attention that the library is providing this governmental funded program for our children or kids. I think it's up to 18. And so far, we've had, on June 7th, we've had 17 children participate. On June 9th, we've had 13, and on June 14th, we've had 15. So I'm glad our staff is able to provide this, and I just wanted the community to know that the library is fulfilling its commitment to provide these programs to the people in our community. And secondly, I just wanted to mention that tonight, the trustees will continue to review and discuss the treasurer's proposed tentative budget, and our goal is to approve the tentative ordinance of the budget and appropriations for the upcoming fiscal year. And I will now call the trustees. Trustee Makula, do you have anything to share?
Well, I could just confirm the other night when the hurricane warning came, that in this room here, there was about 25 or 30 children and several adults, and they were continuing on with the story time that was scheduled. So I think this room's fairly safe. There's no windows, and it was a smart move to get everybody in here and clear out the other areas of the library.
Okay, thank you. Trustee Schoenfeld.
I too was here when the actual excitement was here, and just to reiterate, the safety of all sides were available for our community as well as our employees.
All right, thank you. Trustee Rosansky.
Yes, thank you very much. I have quite a few things to talk about that I've actually experienced here. The plan swap was the first one that we've had at the library since before COVID. It was extremely well attended, and the amount of people who brought plants, even the day of the plan swap, when they were supposed to bring them the day before, was unbelievable. It was a very, very good showing, and everybody was like excited and couldn't believe we don't have to pay for these. At the last Nitwits, there was a lot of fun and laughter. We were all trying to learn a new stitch, and it was hairpin lace. But we all survived, and some succeeded for the most part, figuring it out. The concert music, which was already mentioned, which I'm mentioning because I was here for the 60s and 70s, it was a trio. They were extremely good, very much communicating with the audience, having back and forth. It's on the library's YouTube. Please watch it. It was very good. So a lot of fun was had because it's a trio. They were very good. You can, like I said, view it on YouTube. I participated in the origami dragon boat workshop with my granddaughter last Tuesday night. She's 8, and she was able to do it. And we had a blast. She's very into origami to begin with, so it went out real well. The teacher is phenomenal. She works well with all ages. I was here last Wednesday morning, again with my granddaughter, for the summer reading. I was very disappointed to see only one librarian at the desk. The woman was being run ragged with a never-ending line of children looking for help. I looked for a while, and she smiled as she went about making sure everyone's needs were met. Wouldn't it be nice if before the summer reading program started, we actually ended our hiring freeze so we could have had more people there instead of having one person for all of those kids? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Trustee Olson?
Yes, I just want to say thank you to all of the community engagement activities that were offered this month, and for all the staff that has worked in so many different department activities. They're really good offerings. Really appreciate it. I continue to engage in the online programs and in the audiobook department. And no other report from me.
Thank you. Trustee Keene?
I wanted to say thank you and farewell to Jabez because his last day was the day of the tornado. It was a big, fancy way to go off, appropriate. And congratulations to Rosie and Youth Services, who I think the award is called Spotlight. It was the Illinois Library Association Spotlight Member of the Month for her work that she's doing, her bilingual programming, which I think is one of the program that was going on Wednesday night. It was a story time with Rosie. I don't know if it was a bilingual one, but I also was here that night during the tornado, and I wanted to say thank you to the staff. They did do a wonderful job, and I appreciate it. I also enjoyed the pronoun buttons that were made by teens in the Teen Underground. I have been using it, and it's on my purse, and I really like it. And I think the other things I wanted to say are after the director's report, so that's it for now. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Next is the treasurer's report. Trustee McCullough?
May is the 11th month of the budget year. At the close of the month, we had $13,871,065 in cash and investments. We received $139,773 in revenue. Salaries for April were $231,918, and employee benefits were $51,497, for a total of $282,415. We had purchases of $31,686 in library materials in May. So far this budget year, we have purchased $557,482 in new library materials. Operating expenses for May were $7,991. General and administrative expense was $32,799. Utility costs for the month were $8,642. Building and equipment maintenance was $14,930. We had a special reserve expense of $28,278.27, which was the final payment on the telephone switchboard system, switching system, I guess. Is that, Rich, is that switching system or switch? It's not switchboard, it's switching.
The phone.
Phone system. Okay. Total expenses for May were $425,415. So far this budget year, we have spent $5,147,549.
Okay, thank you. The next item on the agenda is...
No, well, don't we have questions pertaining to this? Isn't this usually when we ask our questions?
About Joe Makula's
About
treasurer's
the
report?
treasurer's report and the bills, payment of bills. This is where we usually ask the questions.
No,
Because I have questions.
payment of bills was...
No. This is usually where we ask the questions. At least that's where I planned, because I have several questions.
Okay, but when we approve the bills, that's when we go through the check register?
Fine.
But if you
Okay.
have questions
No,
that...
whatever you say, Carolyn, you're our executive officer.
Well, we can definitely go back to the check register if you had questions
Oh,
over
I
all those
did,
checks.
but hey, God forbid, I'm only the vice president. Am I allowed to ask my questions now?
I believe that's what I just said.
Thank you. Clark and Hill, I saw there were two bills totaling $16,796 for legal fees,
Just for a month.
just for one particular law office.
For 2 months, 2 months.
Passports
2
were
months.
at 482%, which is great, moneymaker, way to go. Legal fees were at 335% above budget. Way to spend. Thank you.
Okay, once again, you are misrepresenting.
Oh, I have the report. You want to
You're
look at the page?
If I could
You want to
please,
look at the page?
if I could please finish my statement, you're misrepresenting the budget and appropriations, where before the budget was finalized, due to the new unionization and upcoming legal matters, they added $200,000 to the appropriations.
You added it.
The board added.
No, we
You
didn't.
added-
If I could to cover the legal fees, which you continue.
To hide the legal fees.
Which you continue to address as being
We didn't vote on
overspent.
that.
It doesn't matter, you still are inaccurately depicting it.
Well, that's your opinion.
We voted on that in July of 2021.
Yes, when there
It was
still
already-
4-3, we had no say.
All right, this discussion's over, we're moving on, thank you.
Yes, it's over. Thank you very much.
We are now on number 8, the director's report. Cindy, would you like to make any statements regarding all of these reports?
No, not particularly. I will, Becky commented that Jabez was leaving. I would also like to say that Mikey will be the new assistant supervisor in youth services. So she's accepted that position.
Is that Mikey, did you say?
Yes. Pronounce her last name, but I'm afraid I missed it.
Yeah, I know.
No, Mikey.
Well, she will be, say it again.
The assistant supervisor. Sarah, you remember,
Services,
moved to
right.
digital services, and so Mikey is going to.
Oh, so she was the assistant. I I didn't realize
Sarah
that's
was.
what her position was.
Sarah
Okay,
was,
thank you.
yes, and
Okay.
so then Mikey is going to fill that position. Does anyone have any questions on the statistics or the programs, the activities or the programs in the library?
Trustee McCullough, any comments or questions for Cindy?
I have no questions on the statistics. I believe they're accurate.
All right, Trustee Schoenfeld?
I just wanted to say thank you, Cindy, for all your hard work, and also all the members that actually work in the library who always do a wonderful presentation of the library to keep the community going.
Thank you.
Trustee Rosansky?
Thank you for your report, Cindy.
Trustee Olson?
Yeah, thank you again for the wonderful library highlights. Is that what?
Yes, the highlights are mostly prepared by the supervisors. I'm just compiling them.
Every once in a while, I'd come across a paragraph in the library highlights about programs that are not being planned because of lack of staff. I mean, there were a couple, two programs that I remember, but there were more. One was a writing program, and another one was baby time, and you're not having those at all because there's no staff, not enough people for...
Book Buddies, you might remember Book Buddies. It was a volunteer program where someone would come in and sit with a child and explore a book and enjoy reading. So that is not happening this year, hasn't happened since before COVID.
Yeah.
And then the other one was a writing program, and Clara used to run the writing program, and then Debbie Graham in the summer. I think actually longer, like throughout the year, but so no, we're not able to offer that at this time.
It's a good time to mention the summer reading program, which seems to be a big success so far. Wonderful beginning.
That was a lovely program out. Thank you for reminding me. It was a lovely program outside for the kickoff on Friday, a couple Fridays ago. Beautiful night and over 600 people.
Over 600 people. Yeah, congratulations on that. That was wonderful. No, that's all. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Trustee Keene?
Have there been any other departures since our last meeting besides Jabez?
April's departure is confirmed. She will not be coming back. April? From Youth Services.
I know who she is. Thank you.
From Youth Services.
Big loss.
Yes.
That's it. Okay, thank you for that, and thank you for the reports. And I did want to just point out, I noticed that the total in-person attendance was 4,727. So people are coming to the library. We cannot say that people aren't coming back to the library because we had almost 5,000 people last month. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, the next item on the agenda is new business, 9A. Do I have a motion to approve the letter of engagement for the 2021-2022 annual audit by LAUTERBACH Amen, LLP in the amount of $10,000?
So motion.
Second.
Thank you. Okay, we have a motion, a movement and a second. We can now have discussion. Trustee McCullough.
I believe we've used these people before. They're familiar with the library, so I suggest we continue on with them.
Thank you. Trustee Schoenfeld.
No comment.
Trustee Rosansky.
Yes, last time we had this topic up with this group, I said then we should have hired them, but unfortunately, it was voted down. So hopefully this time it isn't.
Thank you. Trustee Olson.
No comment.
Trustee Keene.
I'm just glad that something I asked for to be on the agenda is finally on the agenda.
Okay, if there aren't any more comments, Margaret, would you please call the roll?
Trustee Derblick,
Yes.
Trustee Schoenfeld,
Yes.
Trustee Makula,
Yes.
Trustee Rozansky,
Yes.
Trustee Olson,
Yes.
Trustee Keene,
Yes.
unanimous.
Thank you
Passes.
very much.
All right, thank you. The next item on the agenda is 9B. Do I have a motion to approve the one-year subscription renewal of 8 Adobe Creative Cloud desktop app licenses from CDW-G for $9,294.40?
Motion.
Second.
Thank you. We have a movement and a second. We now have discussion. Trustee Makula.
I agree with the purchase. It's about what we need for the amount of use we're going to get out of it.
All right, Trustee Schoenfeld.
I have no comment.
Trustee Rozansky.
Well, hopefully, since it's marked down from 12 to 8, and 8 was the amount your side said they would accept, we can pass this time.
Trustee Olson.
No comment.
Trustee Keene.
No comment.
Okay, if there isn't any further discussion, Margaret, would you please call the roll?
Trustee Derblick,
Yes.
Trustee Schoenfeld,
Yes.
Trustee Makula,
Yes.
Trustee Rozansky,
Yes.
Trustee Olson,
Yes.
Trustee Keene,
Yes.
Thank you.
unanimous, passes.
The next item on the agenda is,
May I make a comment on this particular item before you start?
yes.
So the number that I have here in the motion was based on a calculation, a formula that I had found that we'd used in the past, and I asked the accountant to take a look at that, and his recommendation is that we should use the amount in the Ordinance 2104 levy. So I have recalculated the amount.
What are
For
we,
letter C,
are we talking about insurance?
the library
No,
card?
no. This is pertaining to
Yeah, letter C,
non-resident library.
non-
Okay, I jumped too fast. I'm on the wrong page. Thank you.
We're on
Appreciate
C,
that.
right? C.
Yes.
Thank you, thank you.
Yes, the
I-
non-resident library cards.
Actually, I don't have it. Put it wrong.
So the
Thank
first column is the one you have, and then the second column is his recommendation to use a different revenue number. Just changes the total amount.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So you're saying the highlighted is what he's recommending? Thank you.
Okay. So we are on 9C.
Yes, we are.
Move to approve the library's continued participation in the non-resident library card program and set the Niles-Maine District Library annual library card fee at $251.13. Formula is based on taxes our resident cardholders pay.
Motion.
Second.
Okay, was that, Becky Keene, did you second?
I did.
No.
Diane did.
Oh, sorry, thank you. All right, we have a motion and a second. Now we can have discussion. Trustee Makula.
The accountant recommends the 251.13, is that it?
He recommends using the property tax number of $5,888,132 instead of the, in the past, it was always the number that had been used in the IPLR, which was $5,458,616. And because I couldn't figure out where that number came from, his recommendation is to use the most accurate number he feels for property tax revenue for the coming year would be 2104, the levy amount.
Well, I think that 251.13 is closer to what most people.
That's what she has highlighted, Joe.
Yeah, that's the one we're gonna use.
recommended.
The
Right, but it,
251.
Please don't interrupt.
what we have here on the agenda is 23281, so we need to change that if we
I
want to.
know, and I just read the change into.
Oh, you want
Yes.
to, okay. The reason I would go with the higher number is because typical single-family home in Niles is probably paying more than the 251 in taxes toward the library.
So I did actually look this up on my tax bill, and last year, my tax bill was $271.64. The portion that is for the library, so I think that that's a reasonable amount.
Oh, okay, thank you. All right, thank you, trustee Schoenfeld.
No comment.
Trustee Rosansky.
The only thing I have to say is from working at a high school and knowing that we at the school had to pay these fees for some of our students. This is, by law, we have to do this. We have to offer this.
No, it's completely up to the board. You do
Is
not
it?
have to participate in this program.
Well,
but
I
we always
personally
have.
think it needs to be done. I also feel, and I know that the local high school, I don't know about North, or I know the Maine Township High School. The high school pays for their students. I don't know about the other schools. So I personally think this is a very important thing. Thank you.
Trustee Olson.
No comment.
Trustee Keene.
No comment.
All right, thank you. With no further discussion, Margaret, would you please call a roll?
Trustee Derbelik?
Yes.
Trustee Schoenfeld?
Yes.
Trustee Makula?
Yes,
Trustee Rosansky?
Yes.
Trustee Olson?
Yes.
Trustee Keene?
Yes.
Unanimous, passes.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is 9D. Do I have a motion to approve the purchase of Utica liability insurance for $37,310, Travelers Crime Insurance for $4,363, and Hanover Workers Compensation Insurance for $20,387 for a total amount of $62,060.
So motion.
Second.
Second.
That's okay. That's
All right,
okay.
thank you. I think I have Patty Rosansky and Sue Schoenfeld.
That's fine.
Thank you. All right, at this time, we have a move-in and a second. We can now have discussion. Trustee Makula, do you have any questions?
no, this is renewal on policies we have. We need to approve it.
Trustee Schoenfeld.
No comment.
Trustee Olson? I'm sorry, Trustee Rosansky?
No comment.
Trustee Olson?
No comment.
Trustee Keene?
No comment.
All right, I just need a little clarification, Cindy. And I know we have the Hanover invoice for $20,387, which doesn't actually coincide with either of these, does it?
Either one.
Oh, there it is, never mind, I apologize, it's on the bottom, okay. I believe Utica, the Utica liability insurance invoice did arrive?
Yes, we are still missing the umbrella invoice for the umbrella policy, but the general liability invoice came for $33,734.
Wait, before you go any further, general liability is Utica liability?
Yeah.
And it's not $37,310, it's less?
It's less because the check is also to cover the umbrella policy, which we do not have the invoice for yet. The umbrella policy is $3,576.
3576, and could you please repeat the Utica portion then?
$33,734 is for it's for the commercial package and the auto insurance.
And the 3,576 is the auto portion?
Is the umbrella.
Umbrella? So it's still 37,310,
Right.
that's still correct. All right, I do have one comment to make. I believe in approving this payment, we should authorize payment upon receipt of the bill for the, is it the umbrella that's missing? For the umbrella policy in the amount of $3,576.
Yes.
And then the board can approve this, but of course you'll mail the check when you receive the invoice for the missing invoice, correct?
So
For
these,
some reason you said one check,
this
one amount
payment-
covers two,
One payment to Utica covers 3 policies.
for $37,310?
And all of these policies renew July 1,
Right,
so payment needs to be received at the insurance companies by July 1.
okay. And my question again is $37,310 is for 2 policies.
3 policies, the auto, the umbrella, and the general liability.
Okay, 33,000,
37,310
the breakdown is 33,734,
is for the general liability and the auto.
and then $3,576.
$3,576 is for the umbrella.
Okay, so it's 2 invoices for 3 policies. I see what you're saying. And the Hanover Workers Compensation, we received that as well?
We have the Hanover invoice, $20,387. And we have the travelers, which is
Right.
$4,363.
Okay. And are you saying that we need to authorize payment before we receive the missing invoice?
Yeah.
Because we know how much it is and it's due.
Right, we have the policy, we do not have the invoice. So I have a,
Is there any way they can fax you the invoice?
well, this is from the insurance company, and she says attached is the invoice for your package and business auto renewal policy with Utica. As soon as the umbrella renewal policy issues and the invoice, I'll email them to you.
Okay.
So this was 6/14.
Yesterday.
Yeah, and it didn't come in today. So as soon as she gets them, she's sending them, so.
Okay, and when will you be mailing the checks?
When will I be mailing
Oh,
the checks?
ASAP, I
Well,
guess is your plan, right? To get them there?
To get them there by July 1, yeah. So in years past, this has always been a prepaid expense. They've always been cut and mailed before all the invoices arrive. So it's always been done in May, and
Well, if we have a policy and we're just missing the invoice, we know we'll have coverage, and I guess payment will then validate that coverage should anything go awry. I see what you're saying. Okay, well then, thanks for that. All right, so I think everyone has
Did we vote on it?
made their comments. Could we, Margaret, could you call the roll? Would you like me to read the motion that we're going to vote on? To approve the purchase of Utica liability insurance for $37,310, traveler's crime insurance for $4,363, and Hanover Workers Compensation insurance for $20,387 for a total amount of $62,060.
So moved.
No,
It's
No, I'm repeating it so
We're just-
everybody
just
remembers
yes
why
or
we're
no.
voting.
All right, okay.
Sorry.
Yes or no?
Trustee Derblick?
Yes.
Trustee Schoenfeld?
Yes.
Trustee Makula?
Yes,
Trustee Rozansky?
Yes.
Trustee Olson?
Yes.
Trustee Keane?
Yes.
And unanimous, passes. Thank you.
The next item on the agenda is 9E, move to purchase Move to approve purchase of a replacement FSL Muse 3D Autofocus Desktop CO2 45W laser cutter and digital services for $6,955.26 with per capita grant funds.
So moved.
So, second.
Thank you. We now have a movement and a second. We can have discussion. Trustee Makula.
I understand this piece of equipment's broken and can't be fixed, so I guess we need to buy a new one.
Thank you. Trustee Schoenfeld.
Now, with the extended warranty, it's just for 2 years? Or can we add additional for coverage for this particular item?
I don't know that.
Okay.
I'd have to go back and ask the supervisor who submitted this.
Okay. Any other questions?
Not at this time.
All right. Thank you. Trustee Rosansky.
It was stated it's being paid by the per capita grant, correct? Thank you. And it's not coming out of our general funds. Thank you.
Trustee Olson.
No comment.
Trustee Keene.
No comment.
Okay, with no further discussion, Margaret, please call the roll.
Trustee Derbelik?
Yes.
Trustee Schoenfeld?
Yes.
Trustee Makula?
Yes.
Trustee Rosansky?
Yes.
Trustee Olson?
Yes.
Trustee Kean?
Yes.
Unanimous, passes.
Thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome. Next on the agenda, unfinished.
I have new business.
Next on the
I
agenda.
have new business.
Unfinished business.
It's new business, and I have new business.
Do I have a motion?
The chair is obligated to make the opportunity available by asking if any member has such business. I have new business. It's in the book, Carolyn. I gave it to you
have a
in an
motion?
email, and I gave it to you on your desk. And I
Do
have
I
an
have a
extra copy
motion?
right here, so no. I have new business.
Do I have a motion?
You can't just keep going on your own
To
rules.
approve
If
the
you're going to
ordinance.
invoke Robert's rules for your own business in the beginning of the meeting, then you need to follow Robert's rules through the whole meeting, not just the parts that you like.
Trustee Keene, please contact the library attorney for
I have new
information.
business, and we're going to talk about it.
Do I have a motion to
Hey,
move
we can talk about it now, or we can talk about it later, but we're going to talk about it.
Schedule for Board of Trustees meetings for the Niles-Maine District Library fiscal year commencing
You're
July
not
1,
you're not a president, you're a dictator and a
2022,
tyrant, and you're just
ending
following
June
your
30,
own rules, not
2023.
Robert's rules unless
So
they
moved.
suit you.
Second.
We have a movement and
What
a
is the
second.
problem? Why can't we have new business?
She is.
She's denying trustees the opportunity to
Trustee
participate
Makula,
in the
did you have
meeting.
any comments regarding the schedule of board meetings? We reviewed this
Just
last
outrageous.
month, and today is just a
These,
vote.
there's no reason, I mean, it's the third Wednesday of each month. It's fine.
Okay, Trustee Schoenfeld?
No comment.
Trustee Rosansky?
No comment.
Trustee Olson?
Nothing.
Trustee Keene?
I have new business. Let's take care of my business.
Trustee Keene, we're taking a vote?
No, I
Are
still
you
have new
voting no?
business.
Are
I'm
you
waiting for
voting
my new
now?
business.
You need to respond, we're taking a roll.
New business.
Why won't you allow new business?
Because we follow our procedures.
The
We've been-
procedures in the
yes.
Roberts rules.
Please contact our library attorney, we go through this
I don't
every
want to
month.
waste any more money on a lawyer.
Well, I don't know how else to educate you in this situation.
How about you read the book? Read the book.
If there aren't any more comments, Margaret, will you please call the roll?
Talk about it another.
Trustee Derbelik?
Yes.
Trustee Schoenfeld?
Yes.
Trustee Makula?
Yes.
Trustee Rosansky?
Yes.
Trustee Olson?
Yes.
Trustee Kean?
Yes, on the dates for the meetings, yes.
Unanimous, passes.
Thank you.
No surprises here. Not surprised you didn't allow it.
Next item on the agenda is 10B, review and discuss the proposed tentative budget, proposed tentative 2022-2023 budget. Can I have a movement and a second?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Okay, we have a movement and a second. We can now have discussion. Okay, to sort of bring back what we're doing is a continuation of our previous meeting on May 31st. We are reviewing and discussing the proposed tentative budget, which was presented by the treasurer, Trustee Makula. We've gone down most of the line items. I know we didn't touch on personnel, so I thought we could start there, and then of course we can continue to address any other line item questions that you have. I do have one question though for you, Trustee Makula. You distributed something today?
Pardon?
Are these, what you distributed today, are these the figures?
Those are the adjustments after the discussion we had with the department heads, and mostly in maintenance and adjustments for capital expenses that we made and capital projects.
So
These are, I reviewed the video and I made the changes between what I originally had and what we discussed and changed.
You're talking about the meeting of May 31st, right?
Correct.
Not with the department
Not with
heads.
the department head.
Right.
May 31st.
Well, the meeting of the 31st of
right, we're
May,
we're
yes.
still on his proposed tentative budget.
He's done, please.
So,
Well, before you
I'm
continue,
just
I have,
asking when he's
excuse
done,
me if I could have my conversation here. I have a question. I'm looking at these sheets, and I guess, are you expecting us to follow the adjusted tentative budget? Those are the numbers we talked about?
The adjustments come almost entirely on the maintenance department, which has the capital expenditures in it for building and special reserve building that was changed
Okay,
substantially.
you know what, right now, I don't want you to go through it. I'm trying to be able to present these documents to everyone so they understand them. So each section, these are the same sections as before?
Right. Just numbers were modified to add to, actually, there's substantially about at least $500,000 greater than what we originally had.
Okay, but my question is, I'm looking at this and I see the entire library section, the other section.
And those are with the changes. The new ones I gave you today are with the changes.
Okay, so this isn't the exact same document from last month?
No, it's
These are
not.
just the changes?
No, it's a complete document with the changes.
Okay, so how would you suggest what do we have the trustees review? I thought we were going to go through personnel, but it's not even on here. We would have to use
Well, it's expenditure salaries on
but
page
it's
one.
not broken down by department. You know?
No, it's by pay grade.
Yeah, okay, that would be, well, how would you like to proceed?
Can I ask my question, please?
Sure, if he could just answer
Well,
what his
finish
process
answering the
is going
question,
to
please,
be.
Joe, so I can ask my question.
Trustee Makula, how do you suggest we go through this?
Well, we went through department by department last time, and we went through and we discussed and we made changes, and the changes show up here on this entire library, because most of the changes were in the maintenance department,
Okay,
and it involved, there was a couple changes in IT, but I think there was one change or something in IT. The rest were all maintenance. So that's this sheet here with the dark big square on the bottom.
so in order for Cindy to get an idea of what the numbers are, we'd have to go through all of this, correct?
Correct.
We don't have time tonight if we're going to have executive session, right?
Well, what we need to do is take care of the budget. That's why we're here tonight.
No, this is
so
a general
Cindy-
meeting. This is the meeting we
Cindy-
take care of general library business.
Cindy,
So, Mark, Athena has joined us, and Athena's purpose here is to help me actually by reporting accurately the numbers you agree on numbers to go into the ordinance, then she is going to record them. So, with all due respect, Mr. McCullough, the sheets are a little difficult to work with. But I think if we can take, you asked for the worksheets, and so I think if we can use the worksheet that Becky put together, because it has Joe's original numbers on it, and it also has a blank for any adjustments to the library, which would be very helpful. And it's got the
Do you have
original
an extra
staff
copy?
budget.
I don't have it in my binder.
We can make copies for you. The original staff budget, areas for adjustment, Joe's original budget, and so as we go through those, we can pick up the numbers that you passed out tonight and make sure that we get it in here. And then, because, all of this ends up having to roll up into the ordinance. Do you remember that mapping document that Greg did last year?
But
So
we
all
don't
of
have
these
to have
left-
this done until September. And
No,
we
that's not true.
No, by law, it has to be done by September.
Patty.
And we have to
it's a
start on it
process.
right now to finish by
Fine,
September.
But we also have an executive session, which is pertaining to union stuff and other things that is important. I am not going to stay here till 1 o'clock in the morning like we have in the past.
I'm sorry.
Because you're insistent on speaking on the
Okay,
budget now.
Patty.
When we already have a date scheduled for the 29th.
What's scheduled for the
We
29th?
had a tentative date set for a budget meeting on the 29th of
No,
June.
no, Patty, the 29th of June?
We
Didn't
had,
have-
we had a budget
Yeah.
meeting for the
Okay,
31st
please
of
let
May.
Cindy talk, okay, or it's going to be.
I'm asking Cindy because she knows.
So the original, you remember when we originally started with meetings, the 29th was one that I had held. So it is still being held. Nothing is scheduled there, but the room is being held. So I never released the room. So,
Ian?
excuse me,
Oh, go ahead.
that's all I know. The room is available
And
on the
then we would
29th.
have all this time to go line by line like you always insist on doing.
So wait a minute, so what happened to, this was the night for the board for us to review these numbers, give us 30 days to publish it, and then 30
Well-
days for the public hearing.
That was before we
now
got
we're
a
going-
budget dropped on us
So
5
now-
minutes before a
So
meeting.
now, you know what, in all due fairness,
In all due fairness, we did have a budget on the desk when we walked in.
it
No
was
time
just,
to look at it.
Let's see, if we go to the draft minutes of April 20th is where we had this conversation about meetings. And so at that time, June 29th was scheduled for a public hearing. But then we canceled.
But you still have it held for us, right?
Yeah. So then we had to adjust the schedule because, I can't remember why, but anyway, we had to adjust the schedule. So now the public hearing is set for July.
that's based on today, so if
Well,
we're moving
yeah,
it.
it is based on
Technically,
today,
if it
but-
doesn't pass today, it has to be set according to whenever it passes. And to call Joe's
right,
budget
do me a favor.
tentative budget, it isn't. It's a proposed budget. We have 3 proposed budgets. One from the library, one we sent to everybody on Monday, which nobody's looking at, and then Joe's.
All right,
So there are 3, and we should discuss all 3, not just Joe's.
Okay, Patty, we're not going to discuss just one. What you do in discussion is, you use one of the templates. If we're gonna use Becky's, it's fine with me. The fact of the matter is, all you need to do is compare the numbers, and we either agree or disagree. So that's gonna be the process, whether it's Becky's paper or
And we're
his
gonna be here
paper.
until midnight at least.
Well, when do you wanna take the time to do this?
On the 29th, we'll have the whole evening. We'll have hours. We have an executive session. we
Diane,
have
can
to
you
do.
pass these down,
So,
please?
Cindy, if
Diane,
June 29th,
take one and pass
we're
it down.
just about to review these figures, now we need to figure out 30 days for the publication. Will be already, well, it will still be the end of July.
So I'm passing down an email that I sent before our meeting. Cindy was kind enough to print out copies of it, which was good foresight. Our idea is, as stated, there are 3 different proposals on the table. There's the staff proposed budget, there's treasurer's proposed budget, and there's a trustee proposed budget. We don't have a lot of time tonight to go through all these. We have a date set aside. What we are proposing is that one person from that side of the room and one person from this side of the room sit down with Cindy and go through the budgets, the 3 proposed budgets, because we have to come to a compromise, because there's no way you guys are going to vote for what we put forth.
Okay.
And there's no way we're going to vote for what you put forth. The only
Well,
way
then
this...
that's
Can
a
I
horrible
finish? Now you're
statement.
interrupting me.
That's
Let me finish.
That's a horrible statement from a trustee.
Well, it's honest, Carolyn.
Why?
Because...
We can't discuss this?
Okay, yes, we should discuss it. We should discuss it, but not here tonight. We should sit
Fine.
down
We'll
together.
do it another day.
We should sit down together and honestly sit down and compromise.
As a board. That's why we.
Yeah, okay, then let's do it on the 29th. We have
That's
that
fine.
day set aside.
I'm fine with that. but
Okay, good.
I'm fine with that.
But I mean, honestly,
No, I'm serious.
compromising and not saying, this is my budget, and if it doesn't get voted for, then that's the end of the story.
No, that is
I'm
not.
done
Because that has
being
happened in the
bullied.
past.
But that's not my
I'm
position.
done with
No,
being
I
bullied,
believe,
and we have to have
Okay,
both
she
sides
agreed to
have
the
to compromise.
29th, let's do that.
We are trying to work together, and here's the proof, okay?
I
we're-
agree.
We need to do it
Okay.
together, or it's not gonna happen.
No, I agree. So my concern is if July 29th is when.
June
we-
29th.
June 29th.
Is-
So it's not even July.
Oh,
it's
that's not
June
that far.
29th.
Okay.
No, it's not.
It's 2 weeks.
So then,
Carolyn, I'm not available. I'm out of town. I'm not gonna be.
Well, the other alternative is to vote no on this budget tonight. So what are we,
when are you available?
and that's really unfair to not consider our budget,
I'm
Suzanne.
not gonna be available until end of
No, it's not. We have that room booked already.
the 30th.
She's gonna be out of town.
The next
Oh.
day?
So realistically.
Cindy, is there any?
I don't know why
Is
that
there
would be
any-
when we had a date already booked. Why would you
No,
go out
that
of
was
town?
already eliminated.
Well, I
within
never
the
got notice
process.
of that.
Well, whatever.
How could it be
Let's-
eliminated?
I still have it in my calendar.
Well, if you listen to Cindy's minutes from the meeting that we came up with these new dates, you'll see why it was eliminated.
Was that date eliminated?
She held it.
It's still being held.
Because I
but
was
it
never
wasn't in the
notified that
process.
I was never notified we were not
It
meeting on that day.
certainly was.
Okay,
We
now let me
hadn't-
explain what I'm
we
trying to
hadn't
say.
accepted
Today
the
was the
budget.
day that we would review everybody's budgets and hopefully approve it. That was my goal, that we would approve it. And then the other days were set in motion, the publication, the public hearing, and then the final approval. And we picked those dates as a group.
Yes.
The
Okay,
29th,
well, on-
right, we picked it as. on the
Can we have
29th.
another
Wait a
set of
second,
dates
on
so that
April?
hopefully
Okay,
Suzanne
let's
can be
listen
here?
to Cindy.
At the April meeting, there were, the 29th was on the table for the public hearing originally.
Yes.
The meeting of the 13th, because we had to move the meeting of the 16th, right? We were going to meet on the 13th, we were going to meet at the 16th, and that wasn't going to work. So we moved the meeting on the 16th, and that made the public hearing on the 29th not possible.
Okay.
So then it was, Monday the 16th was rescheduled to May 31st. Okay, for the special board meeting to review the budget. June 15th, the regular board meeting and tentative budget was confirmed. If the budget is approved tonight, then June 23rd, the notice of the public hearing will be published, and Monday, July 25th would be the public hearing. So that's the last paragraph in your draft minutes for May 13th.
So the day of her public hearing, is that a day Suzanne can be here? Is that a day?
What
Becky-
date?
Becky can be here.
I don't know, that was May 13th. Were you all at the May 13th meeting? Because that was
We
decided.
all-
No, this
We're
new
all at
date
every
she
meeting.
has set up for the public hearing.
That was,
We
Monday,
were
July
all here.
25th was
We were all
decided
here.
on May 13th. Let me see if everybody was here.
We're all always here.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So, but you just stated, if it's approved today, we have to have another public hearing,
No, a public hearing.
a public hearing, excuse me?
Yeah, if it's approved today,
What
then
was
the
that date would
timing
be?
works out to be Monday, the 25th. If it's approved tonight.
And that would be in July or June?
July 25th, because it's 30 days
Well, do
later.
we want to wait until July 25th to do our meeting? Because we need to have a meeting. I don't know how long Susan's out of town.
Well, she's available the next day.
The next day? I
Is
don't
the
know. what-
30th available?
Is there a room
You're
available?
available
And
30th?
then will Becky be
Well,
available?
well,
Oh,
are
yeah.
all of
You
us
have
available?
30.
It's not just me.
Are you available?
I'm checking,
have to see.
but we
Oh,
also need a room.
I don't know what you're talking about anymore.
You'll be available. Trust me, I'll pick you up. You'll be available.
No,
I don't know what
You're
they
not?
do.
no, it's Thursday. I work Thursday nights.
She works Thursday night.
All right, so you're back as of the 30th then.
Mhm.
So how about the 30, what month are we talking about? 30?
This month,
31,
June? There's only 30 days in
oh,
June.
1, July 1.
All right, July
Mm.
1st?
July 1st?
Yes.
Is it available?
Is there a room?
What day?
It's a Friday of a holiday weekend.
The holiday weekend?
Yeah, that's not good.
I'll
I
be
mean,
here.
for me.
I'll be here, because I'm going to be in person.
And so this room is available Friday evening, July 1st. Yeah.
Okay, are we
Is
good?
that good for you, Becky?
It's okay.
Sue,
I can do it.
can you, Patty or Becky, or?
I can.
You can?
She can.
Okay.
And me, it's no problem. I have no life.
Yes, you do, you're on this board.
Friday,
All right,
July
so
1st.
if July 1st is the
It's a
meeting.
Friday. And that will be when we discuss the budget then.
We discussed 3 budgets. We have a
Well, we
proposed.
will
Right,
go between
right.
the
And we compromise.
Okay, and can we talk now about setting the, all right, so if first
Wait, let me write that down. I can't believe
is approved,
it. July 1st.
so then it goes in the paper the Thursday of the next week? And
It
then
would be
30
Wednesday
days
next week.
from
Doesn't
there?
it come out on Wednesday, the paper?
Okay, one moment. If you're meeting on Friday, Friday is the deadline for the newspaper, so you have to wait until the next Friday. So we
Okay.
can't meet Friday night and get it in the newspaper by Friday at noon. Friday noon.
Oh, so
is
it's
the
not
deadline.
Monday.
Friday first thing in the morning.
Unless we have a reporter here taking notes. We can
Okay.
call up the journal and say, hey, I'm here.
So Cindy, it won't make the,
It won't make that week, it would have to be the following week.
okay, what's that date of the month?
Okay, so July 1 is reserved. And now we go to the calendar. So, it would go to the paper on the 8th, Friday the 8th. It would be published on Wednesday the 13th of July. So that would be day 1. And
So then it's plus 30 days.
yes, so there would be, what,
30.
18 days. August what,
It'll
14th?
be someplace time in August.
So the week of the 14th in August, like the week of the 15th in August would be.
And isn't that when we're having
We have
the
a
week
board
of our
meeting on the 17th of August.
So we could do it like an hour and then go into our general meeting after it.
Okay, wait a minute, wait. We're talking about public hearing on
Yes.
August 15th, a library board meeting date.
No,
17th.
the 17th is the board meeting.
15th is a Monday.
Oh, so we're thinking August 15th for the,
Well, that's when the first day that it's available.
okay, well, I'm sorry, what were you recommending?
I was saying, since we're coming on the 17th, we used to always have the public hearing and then go into our general meeting.
Okay,
This way, we're here once.
all right.
And if it lasts a little longer, so be it, because we're getting our public hearing done.
Okay, and then will we want to approve the budget on August, the final approval could be August 17th then at the board meeting? Because on July 1st at the budget meeting, we'll come up with what they call a tentative.
Yes.
That goes in the paper, and then Cindy, you'll be able to have you'll be able to provide the final at the August 17th board meeting, and we can approve it that same day. Is that correct? Is that true?
Yes.
It should be.
that's like 3 in one day. What do you think? Okay, so we'll have we'll have the public hearing like Patty suggested, then the board meeting, and the board meeting will consist of approving the final budget.
So when are we meeting? The first?
Yes, July 1st.
July 1st to work on the budget.
Yes.
The budget, and then
And
we will have the public hearing and that'll be August 15th, because that has to be in August, because you have to wait the 30 days, so there will be.
No, wait.
public
August
hearing.
15th.
August
Oh,
17th.
17th, excuse me,
August.
which is also our general board meeting.
August 17th? Karen?
Yes. That sounds good.
Yeah.
That's 3 things done in 2 days.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but it works.
you're doing it all, 2 things on one day.
Right.
So, hey, way
Okay,
to go.
July
You don't
1st,
have to come here a second day.
Friday,
Smile, be happy.
Friday we finish.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Can we just talk a little bit about how we're going to set up July 1st so that we just come in here and start working instead of spending a half an hour deciding how
Sure.
we're going to do this?
It sounds like we're going to use Becky's document.
Have you looked
Okay.
at it? Because
Wait.
You have a copy. If you have a
Actually,
copy
I
of that,
couldn't.
you
I got
have
a
it.
copy now.
Because this has the spaces where you can put the numbers on hers. Plus it has all 3 proposals on there.
So, yeah, so you'll see here, the column 1 is the staff, and then past the black line is Joe's original budget, and past the next black line is
It's the same as
Becky's
the one I emailed that was
proposed
difficult to
budget.
read.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see
Yeah, your
Um,
more current one, I think, is easier to read.
Yeah,
the adjustment
right.
to
And
the
I
library budget.
actually,
Well, this is
I
gonna be a
have
lot of
yours,
fun.
but this is.
Yeah, I just want everyone to realize what the difference between the 2 is, because I passed one out tonight, and what I did was hide some of the columns that are on the one Cindy's
Right,
passing
so
out
we
now,
just
so that
make
it was
it
easier
easier
to
to
read. So that's the only difference.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
So
And
we
put
want,
the lines on it.
Okay.
so we want to use, yeah, I love
Use
lines.
whichever one is easier
So
for you to
do
use.
we want to use this one because everything's on one page, right?
It is, yes.
So we'll bring, so Diane, if you answered your question, we'll come with this.
And
And
we'll
this
bring
is
the
the
other
time,
one.
we'll be prepared. We can start as soon as we get here.
However, it does not have whatever changes Joe brought tonight.
No, this is Joe's original. So as we go through it, you know, we'll have Joe's changes, or Joe can make his.
Talk about his
talk
numbers.
about his changes. But no, it doesn't have. But
Okay.
I did see it did have the things that I had asked.
Yes, it does.
So it does have the comments that I had made that needed to be added to the staff budget.
But Cindy, it does not include the numbers that Joe increased when we met on the 31st?
Yes. Whatever he brought on the 31st is what's in there, but what
Okay,
he
'cause
brought
I-
tonight is not.
Well, I'm thinking what he brought tonight should be what we, all right, so it
But I
sounds
didn't
like-
have that before tonight, so I couldn't.
Yeah.
No, but the 31st, you got the numbers from that meeting, because what he gave us today was, we're supposed to be those numbers. So this could really be the whole document then.
And so the only difference, just so you also know, between the staff's proposed budget and our proposed budget is that we added in the things that Cindy had let us know about after the fact, and that we allowed for a raise. That's the only difference.
Okay, now, and are those items broken down on these sheets?
Yes.
Or I could see them, right? Like-
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
if you look at this, look at, like here, this shows the differences. The difference between the staff's proposal.
No, I understand the differences, but how do I identify what the
You go
change
according
is?
to columns, and it is there. And
No, like Cindy had a list of, she had a Word document with a list of items.
Right.
So how do I know where and what line
I'm
item
looking
that
to
was?
see where is that in
I
here.
think
It should be on
you
what,
know,
the
once-
last page, Cindy? Yes, it's the last page. The stuff that Cindy said she forgot to put on the original budget from the staff.
I think it's just,
Well, I know what the items are in the amounts.
Yeah.
Where in the
That's where
budget
the
are they?
subject that she was. I don't,
See the column that says adjustments to library budget? On the first page, I believe they're in there.
On the first page?
There's a column next to the big black bar that says adjustments to library budget.
So that's the adjustments to your library budget.
Investment income 30,000, is that what you were saying?
Yes, because in talking with our investment broker, he's quite confident that 70,000 is too low for investment income next year. He's suggesting it should be 100,000, so that was on my paper.
But you adjusted it to 30,000?
No, that is the amount of the adjustment, the amount of the adjustment.
Oh, that's different. Okay.
I'm
my-
sorry for confusing for you.
That's fine. Thank you.
No, but my question
I don't have
is-
that one in front of me. I'm pulling it up now, but I don't.
Cindy, my question is, I don't know what these amounts represent based on your Word document. I mean, like, where would I find, I mean, I can't identify, there isn't like a,
Number 6, it says investment income 100,000 on the last page. Number 6, investment income should be 100,000, and so Becky has put the extra 30,000 in that column.
To show the difference.
okay, so I'm looking at number 1, salaries, person in charge, program, $5 an hour for grades 4, 5, 5, and 5. I don't know what that means, but, so where do I find that? Range,
5.5 and 5, so that's-
J31 and J33?
So you see the 3,000 listed there under grade 5.
So wait,
Wait,
J31
where
and
are you guys?
J33.
I'm not sure is that what that means?
I'm sorry, my computer's not pulling
Okay,
it up
she
and I don't
gave
have
us
the
the
paper.
row and the number, and I'm trying to figure out, I don't
I
see rows
can't
and
see it. I
numbers.
don't have it in front of me.
She's looking at the sheet.
Okay. Tell me
Yes, so
what
those are the
page
cells
and
that
what
show
row.
where you can find it.
That's where
It's
you
called,
find
yes. Find
Pardon
it in
me?
cell, so for example, salaries, the number 1.
Okay, wait, tell us what page we're on.
The very last page.
Oh, the last page.
The one that's colorful.
Colorful
Okay, so
last
we're gonna
page.
talk about the first item, right? Salaries, person in charge.
Right, so I'm
Explain
just,
that,
okay,
please.
so if you see where it says range at the end of the
Right.
row, J31
Mhm.
should be the cell in the Excel spreadsheet.
I know, but there are no cell numbers on here.
Right, but I did also email it to you,
Email what?
this whole thing. I emailed it on Monday.
I couldn't open whatever you sent me. This is what you sent me on Monday?
Yeah, I
But what
sent
am I
you an
gonna do
Excel
with this if
spreadsheet
it
of the
doesn't have the
budget.
cells on it?
Because normally, people do this on their computers.
I know, but you can print Excel spreadsheets with the headings and everything.
I have
So
nothing
what
to
do
say
you,
to that.
what do
So
you
I'm gonna
need?
have to find them.
What do you need?
What do you need?
She wants a printout with all the cell numbers on it.
I can do that.
Oh, that would clarify the last page.
Smaller, 'cause you're gonna get.
Well, I don't want them any smaller than this. How about if you enlarge the paper then? Well, what will you be doing? You'd be adding, oh yeah, you have to add rows and columns. Well, columns are okay. Well, maybe it won't be too bad.
No, I don't think it'll be too bad.
Make your margins smaller on the right, and then we should be okay. All right, that sounds good.
All right, but don't send it email because I have the same problem. I
So,
need print copies.
Can I pick it up? Can we pick up the copies?
Yeah, you give me a couple of days.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You definitely need it.
We're not, when are we meeting? June,
It's July 1st.
oh, July 1st. Yeah, we
So,
have
yeah,
plenty
so
of
it's
time.
2 weeks. So as long as she gets it, a week in advance? Is
Oh,
enough?
yeah,
It's the 15th.
I have a weekend.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. So you're giving her an extra week.
So July 1st, 6:30 here.
I just hope this is not a
Did you hear that, Cindy? She doesn't need it immediately because it's in a little more than 2 weeks.
Oh, okay. Yes.
So you can breathe?
Okay, so
Heading
July
down.
1st in this room, right?
Cindy?
6:30 here on July 1st. It's, when you'll see.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay, just one last request, Cindy. Could you send an email to all the board members indicating the dates and the purpose of these meetings so we all have it?
Friendly reminder.
And that would be 2 meetings, July 1st and August 17th.
Right, with,
Right.
yes. And then list what we're doing.
Yeah, 17th is our
Sounds
general meeting as well as the public hearing.
Okay, so we were on.
That was the C, I think. That was 10C, wasn't it?
No, that was B.
10B,
10B?
okay.
Yeah, the budget, 10B.
All right, so then for 10B, we decided we will reschedule
For July 1st.
for this discussion for July 1st.
I'm going to text Lisa Calloway. She's like 10 minutes away, right? Because we're skipping.
Sure.
Oh, because we're getting
ESC.
close to executive session?
Yeah.
Oh, thank
Thank you.
goodness.
10B, 10B.
But we can start the executive session and do the meeting minutes instead of, until she gets here, right?
Yeah, because we have to.
We
vote
have
on
other
minutes.
things to do besides
Okay,
just her.
can I just make a few statements regarding, all right, now on 10C, we rescheduled. The approving of the ordinance would be August 17th.
Yeah, the same.
8/17/22, that was rescheduled. This was,
Yeah.
10C was rescheduled, all right, just so
Okay.
I have a note. Okay, now, we're on 11. Do I have a motion to go into executive session for the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees, review and approve executive session minutes, collective negotiating matters between the public body and its employees, or the representatives, or deliberations concerning salary schedules for one or more classes of employees?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, thank you. Margaret, could you please call the roll?
Trustee Derblick?
Yes.
Trustee Schoenfeld?
Yes.
Trustee Makula?
Yes.
Trustee
Yes.
Rosansky? Trustee Olson?
Yes.
Trustee Keen?
Yes.
Okay.
Unanimous passes. And the time, Carolyn?
I'm sorry,
What
oh,
time?
it is 8:37, thank you. Not yet. I need a move, so moved in a second.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, all right. We're going into open session at 10:01. Okay, the next item on the agenda is, sorry. Number 12, action if any on executive session items. Do I have a motion approving the director's recommendation to offer a facilities sorry, let me repeat this. Do I have a motion approving the director's recommendation I did something wrong here. To
offer position to a candidate.
Okay. Do I have a motion approving the director's recommendation to offer a facilities supervisory position to a candidate?
So moved.
Second.
Oh, excuse me, subject to passing the background check.
So moved.
Second.
Are you okay there, Cindy?
Yep.
Okay, so moved of J.M. and Sue Schoenfeld. Cindy, would you please call the roll?
Okay, so the motion is to move, approve director's recommendation to offer a facility supervisor position to a candidate subject to passing the background check.
Yes.
Okay, Trustee Derblick?
Yes.
Trustee Schoenfeld?
Yes.
Trustee McCullough?
Yes.
Trustee Rosansky?
Yes.
Trustee
Hang on.
Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Keane?
Yes.
Do we need to repeat it?
I think we
It's
should.
on the video, Cindy?
Okay, move to approve director's recommendation to offer a facility supervisor position to a candidate subject to passing a background check. The motion.
But everybody approved.
Joe McCullough moved, Suzanne Schoenfeld seconded,
Yes.
and roll call was unanimous. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, the next item on the agenda is 13 other. Do we have any comments? Joe McCullough for other?
No.
Sue Schoenfeld?
Nothing at this time.
Patty?
Yes. I would not only like the hiring freeze to be addressed on next month's agenda, I truly feel we need to drop it. So it would be nice if people are willing to compromise on this situation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Trustee Olson?
I agree with the same proposal. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Trustee Keane?
I would like to thank the people who have been emailing the board this week. I appreciate those emails, and I hope everyone is reading them and responding to them. And I really hope that we are going to actually work together on July 1st and compromise on a budget. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, if there is no further discussion, do I have a motion to adjourn the regular board meeting of June 15th, 2022?
Motion.
Second.
PR and Sue
All
Schoenfeld.
together, raise your hand.
Cindy, would you please call the roll?
Trustee Derblick?
Yes.
Trustee Schoenfeld?
Yes.
Trustee McCullough?
Yes.
Trustee Rosansky?
Yes.
Trustee Olson?
Yes.
Trustee Keane?
Yes.
The meeting is adjourned at 10:05 PM. Thank you.